I don't remember a time when I didn't know, I didn't know I was going to be running my own business. I mean, from the age of 4 or 5, I actually remember sitting with my parents and them talking about business. So it was just something that I was absolutely bound to do. So I don't know whether I was born to be an entrepreneur. I don't know whether it's my early days that formed me into an entrepreneur, but I was always going to be one. I think the truth is that the true entrepreneur has the right mix about them. And that might be that it always is that they're brave, they're not afraid of taking risks, there's a high level of competitiveness, they're probably quite dissatisfied people. Not dissatisfied as in unhappy, but dissatisfied with, as soon as they've achieved their goal, what is it that I've got to do now? How can I make that better? That I certainly see. And something that I think is absolutely key, without exception, the entrepreneurs that I come across are personally confident. So they themselves believe, all they've got to do is convince themselves that it is the right thing to do, and then they will go for it and they won't let anybody stop them. So I think it's kind of the mix coming together, but those are certainly traits. And when I look down at the other dragons in the den, those are the ones that I say absolutely present in all of us. And I don't want to tell a sob story. I don't want to, because actually I had a great childhood. But it was a very poor childhood. And my mother used to have to, for a while we didn't have a father, and my mother used to take us to work. And I, as a child, while everybody else was playing shops, I was actually sitting at a till. I was actually doing it and loving it. I mean, this was wonderful. So I think I just grew up loving it and could not wait to do it. I'm not sure, therefore, that my motivation has changed at all. I mean, yes, in the early days, I needed to make money. So, yes, I wanted to do it, but obviously I wanted to make money. Now, I could choose not to work. But the love of business hasn't gone. The love of the achievement, the love of taking something or making something out of nothing, or taking something that's failing and turning it into something that's successful. That's what really motivates me. I have to say, one of my most learning experiences was through a prize bingo. And when I say that, I can see people kind of, my goodness, that's a surprise to even consider me within a prize bingo environment. But it was when I was quite young, I was still forming my business or the way that I worked. And if you can imagine, you're sitting almost face to face with your customer. You will never have a business that gives you a more direct response. If you do not give your customer what they want, they tell you. It was in a holiday environment, so these people were staying with us for a week. So it isn't as if that I would lose a customer and there'd be a new customer come in. If I upset my customer, I've lost them for the week. And immediately it's my takings. So you're constantly balancing this. How do I maximize my income, but having a direct relationship with your customer? Because, as I say, just go a second too fast and suddenly everybody's got up and left. So it was an absolutely fascinating, very simple, but those basic rules of business. In that one business, I learned most of the basic rules of business that I apply all of the time now. It's actually a disadvantage being a member of the family, because the people around you do assume the worst. They do assume you're just there because you're family. I rose to that. Some people don't. Some people don't like that. Some people think, well, actually, I'm not even going to bother to prove myself. I thought, no, just work with me. Work with me. Just see. I'm actually very good. Well, we did quite an interesting thing. I actually went in at a much lower level than I was capable of. And I was quite happy to do that because I had every intention of becoming the managing director, and I had every intention of doing it quickly. But I understood that I was starting with a disadvantage because people would immediately assume that I was joining the business because I was my parents' daughter, not because I was good at what I did. So I was quite happy to say, do you know, I'll take a junior position. You promote me when you think I'm good enough. Simple as that. So yes, there is definitely, and I was very conscious of the fact that I had to be very, very good. Everybody has their own version of success. And it's very easy for me to say mine isn't money. Well, it's when you've got it, it's very easy to say it's not money. Money is definitely a measure of success because, you know, you do well, you make more money. But I think, why is it now? What is my measure of success now? And money can form that, but I know what I want to be. I know the person that I want to be. I know the things that I want to be doing. For me, success is being able to do those things and being that person. And, you know, going to bed at night and thinking, I'm living the life I want to live in the way I want to live it. And I am interacting with other people the way that I can be proud of interacting with other people. That's my success. Somebody else might have a completely different version. But what worries me is when people don't know what their version of success is. And certainly from a lot of young people I hear, I want to be a millionaire. That to me is an empty approach to success. What is it about being a millionaire that you want? That's the important thing. What is it? Because it shouldn't be the money. It should be about the things, you know, you should know what that list of things is that you want to be and you want to do. I was very much in control of my own life. I'd reached a stage that I pretty well do what I wanted to do. I could make my own decisions, and I was very nervous about getting involved in the media and losing control of that. Because actually, when you put yourself out there, you know, there's a lot of stuff happens to me that I'm out of control of. So that was quite tough for me. I have to say I am very, very pleased I joined Dragons. The moment I actually decided to do it was when I had a screen test with Duncan Bannatyne and Richard Farley. So I actually got to meet two of the other Dragons. I did a screen test. We sort of had a pitch made to us. And I thought, this is going to be challenging. This is out of my comfort zone. I've never done anything like this before. These guys are smart guys. They're going to keep me on my toes. Because, of course, what people see is a sort of a pitch between the Dragons and the pitcher. What I don't know if they appreciate is, of course, we're evaluating each other all the time. You know, we're competing against each other. Although they might see alliances being formed, only for business reasons. It's only because we think they're the right alliances. So, you know, for me, it was as much thinking, they're going to keep me on my mettle. This is going to be a whole new challenge. And at that moment, I thought, all right, I'm going to go for this one. I alarm people sometimes, and sometimes they might take it as arrogance. They're wrong. I will say when I've done a really good job, and I will be really pleased with myself. But I think I'm entitled to do that because I also know when I've done a bad job and I beat myself up about it. And I think this is just my honest approach. And I will say it, and that startles people. We're not very good in the UK, you know, being able to say, do you know, I just did a bloody good job. We don't do that very well, and I think it's a shame because we should cut ourselves some slack. We get enough bad news. We should take that moment to think, yes, I did that. You know, as long as we're honest enough to say that was not good. It's much more important to me how I felt about the job that I did. I will get people saying to me, God, that was really good. I'll do speeches and people say that was brilliant. And if I haven't delivered the best speech that I could have, I am a nightmare because I don't want to hear that I was good. I want to hear what I got wrong. And I want to know what I need to do next time to deliver a better speech. And people can tell me, and actually in the media world you get it quite a lot, you were brilliant, you were fantastic. I know if I haven't done my best. And that's much more important than hearing the words from other people.